Hello YouTube, this is Wendy, the language enthusiast. I changed my channel name. I added Wendy to at the end, not at the, I don't know how to say this, on top of my channel name, which used to be just language enthusiast, because I wanted to put my name, which is an English name though. My real name is Atsuko. Probably I think that people from other countries are not comfortable using or reading my name, which is written in, even though it is written in alphabet, I think they might have a slight difficulty reading my name, especially from now on. I really want to take part in many live videos, live streams. People do on YouTube, and in such a case, sometimes like names not written in alphabet, like Russian name or Korean name, they can't read, right? And it makes it more difficult for them to memorize your name. And in this way, even though you take part in the live stream very often, even though you are a constant member, but still they can't call your name, right? It's sad, I guess. The more live streams I watch, the more I feel this way. So that is why I decided to put my English name to my channel name. And Wendy, why did I choose this name? Yeah, I used this name when I was going to my English school. I was in for, let's see how long, 4 months, 5 months, okay, back in 2018 or so. That was the last English school or institution I took part in. And at that time, why did I use that name? Why did I have to name myself like that in the first place? I don't remember, but I chose this name back then I named myself after one of the characters from the American cartoon called South Park. And Wendy was there. Wendy was probably a girlfriend of one of the characters, Stan or someone. And I loved her so much. She was very charming. She was very independent, and she was very smart. Okay. And I loved her so much, that character so much. So that is why the first name came into my mind back then was Wendy. And also I have another person named Wendy, and she was a singer. She's a singer. I don't listen to her songs nowadays, or these days though. I don't listen to her songs as often as I used to, though. I really hope that she's doing well now. I forgot her entire name, full name, okay? But her first name is Wendy, and her singing voice was like just fabulous, gorgeous, very powerful. I really loved her singing voice, So that is why I became a big fan of hers. She was not very popular here in Japan, but on radio programs, you could hear her songs, not frequently, but from time to time. But I guess it's pretty rare to listen to her songs because today there are many programs that are made for young people, right? And young people don't know much about her, I guess. I don't think that many young people know about her because there's no opportunities. There's no opportunity for them to listen to her songs in the first place. But I don't listen to the radio today because I'm busy with studying. I also always watch YouTube videos, so I don't have many opportunities to listen to radio programs nowadays. But when I listen to this particular radio station, back in, let's see, around 2011, 2013, and I had this radio program that I loved to listen to. I used to love to listen to, okay? And I just heard that native English speakers don't care about grammar when they listen to non-native English speakers speak English. Is it true? Oh, really? Then I shouldn't care much about my mistakes, very slight ones, like if I forget to add s at the end of a sentence. No, at the end of each noun or verbs. Really? It's good news, right? Okay, anyway, I have this radio station that I used to listen to every day, and people would play some of her songs on the radio programs, and that's how I got to know about her. And I found it fabulous. I found her songs fabulous, and I found her great singer. So I decided to buy her CDs. And actually, I have a few of her CDs at home now, but I never listen to her CDs nowadays. I wonder why. Yeah. Generally speaking, I don't spend time on listening to music in the first place, so that's why, I guess. Okay, just a little while ago, I explained why I named myself Wendy, right? And I've been using this name as my English name ever since then, and I was thinking about choosing another name yesterday for a change, and I looked for this web page or some web pages which introduced some English names that you could choose from, and there are many. Since my real first name is Atsuko, it starts with A, so I thought that it would be better for me to use an English name starting with A, and there are many like Alice, Anne, Anna, and Amy or something like that, but none of them sounded very familiar to me because I never used any of them in my life, right? I've never used any of them in my life. So I just fixed myself, right? Because I just used the past tense, and I thought instantly that I should have used the past perfect, right? Or present perfect, I don't know. Yeah, present perfect, right? Because I have experienced this, and although I was talking about the past, I somehow felt that it would be right for me to use the present perfect instead. So that is why I corrected myself. This is called self-correction, self-correction, right? The difference between L and R is very, very confusing to us, Japanese, because we don't have any difference between R and L. We always pronounce both sounds in the same way. So that is why pronouncing words start using both R and L sounds in them is very difficult for us to do. So I really hope you understand. But is it really true that as I said a little while ago, like I said, native English speakers don't care about such slight differences? I don't think so, because when I hear other people speak English and I understand that English is not their mother tongue, and at that time I listening to them making mistakes, such small mistakes, can be a bit annoying to me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm being a bit too critical, judgmental, just like I did until a little while ago, just before I started videotaping myself like this today. I was watching this Japanese person's YouTube videos. I watched 3 of his videos. He's in Australia now, and he started his channel because he wanted to practice his speaking. He wanted to practice his spoken English like I am doing now, and he's in Australia, but he doesn't feel that his English is not good enough at the moment, and he tries really hard, and I think that he's doing such a great job, and I have done that. And I understand how he must be feeling, although he is not myself. You cannot understand how others are feeling completely 100%, because you and other people are different, right? Some people are extrovert and some people are introvert, right? Extrovert people can't understand introvert people. Introvert, is it okay? Not talkative people, right? And so in this way, it is totally impossible for you to understand how others must be feeling. But when I listen to other Japanese speaking English, since I have a very similar experience like the one they're experiencing at the moment, I'm not talking like I'm better than them or something like that, because there are many people who are better than me. So I don't think that it is just right to judge other people or compare myself to other people, because I can't understand them 100%. So it's a very conceited idea. that I tend to assume that someone's English is better than me, someone's English is not better than me, not as good as mine, or something like that. It's a very selfish idea. But still, I understand that the struggle that he must been going through at the moment. Yeah, because I've been there and I still have the same problems still, but as you do more, the easier it gets, right? The more you do, the easier it gets. So this is the only way that you get out of your problems, and I think he's great because he's trying to do something that that gets him out of his comfort zone, right? I don't think he is very, very happy to do it just by listening to his English, because he doesn't sound very confident. And I think it's totally natural. And he has studied English for almost 10 years. That's what he said before he came to Australia. But he thinks that he's not still good at speaking English, meaning that he doesn't feel comfortable enough to speak English compared to his native tongue, which is Japanese. And I feel the same way exactly. And I always wish my English could be better than it is now, so that I can feel comfortable. And I always compare myself. I can't feel comfortable enough about my English just because my dog is panting so much because they want me to walk them as soon as possible, but it hasn't been even an hour since I fed them, and they should wait for a little longer until their stomach has digested the food they had eaten. So I think it's still too early for me to walk them. I really want to walk them as soon as possible because it's sunny out today. Weather is really good, even though we are in the middle of the rainy season now. It should be raining, but today is another day which is very, very sunny. And yesterday was terrible. The temperature was really high as 36 degrees Celsius. And I don't think that it is totally unusual at this time of year. Yeah, it could be that high, but still it was, I think, the hottest day since this season started. I don't know if it's summer or not, because we say that after the end of the rainy season, the summer starts. This is how we consider, okay? Hey, you are very loud. Please be a little bit quiet, okay? But still, they are so excited, and I'm sorry if it's too loud for you or it's too distracting for you. Okay, where was I? Yeah, and I understand how struggling, or how much he has been struggling, and especially he's in Australia already, right? I would feel the same way if I were in an English-speaking country, but I still have a difficulty expressing myself, right? That is why I try to practice even while I'm in Japan, and I'm not sure if I will ever have the opportunity to go abroad, because the after my colon cancer operation or rectal cancer operation. Come, jump on my lap. He's quite loud. He's quite loud always. No, stop barking. Shh. No, it's not good. It's not good. Come. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come. 1, 2, 3. Okay. He came. He jumped on my lap. That's what he does. Always. Okay. He's good at jumping. Okay, where was I? Yeah, that is why I tried to practice English in Japan, but I don't think I'll ever have the opportunity to go abroad because I had my rectal cancer operation, right? And now I have a difficulty about my stool or going to the toilet many times in a day. But I was lucky enough because I didn't have to use the artificial thing. I mean, I don't know how to call it in English, but it has something to do with anus. And some people have to wear the artificial one instead of your real one. And yeah, so I'm lucky enough because I don't have to wear that one myself. But now I should go to the bathroom more often than I used to because of my operation. I mean, because of my cancer, okay, cancer operation. So that is why I can't think of myself getting on an airplane, being on an airplane for such a long time, like longer than 8 hours or so. And I've gotten on an airplane 5 times in my life, but only within Japan. I have never gotten an airplane or taken an airplane until I was like 5 years ago or so. I've never been abroad in my life, and seats are very, very close to each other, right? In an airplane, I was so surprised to see that, and I always use a bullet train when I go to other prefecture, like Tokyo. I went to Tokyo last month to see pandas. Okay, to see pandas. My daughter and I went to Tokyo to go to this zoo called Ueno Zoo, which is the most famous. I don't think it's the biggest, but it's the most famous zoo in Japan. And this was my very first time going there, or to go there. I don't know which I should use, but okay. And I saw pandas for the very first time in my life. But when I looked at pandas there, I didn't feel like it was my very first time because I always watched pandas on TV ever since I was 7 or 8 years old. At that time, pandas came to Japan for the first time. Okay. The first panda, I'm not sure if they are still alive. I don't think so because it's been more than, let's see, I will be 60 in 2 months, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to talk about why I'm so excited about becoming 60 years old some other time though. Okay. And I saw panda for the first time at the age of 7, right? And my math, 60 minus 7 equals 53, right? I've been watching pandas on television for more than 50 years ago, not 50 years ago, right? So that is why I guess, even though I saw pandas, those pandas, with my eyes directly, person to person, not person to animal, okay, for the first time directly, but I didn't feel like it was my very first time since I've been watching them on TV or on magazines or on newspapers everywhere for the last 50 years. So my brain had this distorted idea that I've seen pandas many times before directly, because your brain cannot distinguish between something which is happening really and something that you are just imagining, right? So that is why you should take advantage of this system, and you can just imagine something that is something good that is happening to you instead of something that might happen to you, something bad which might happen to you in the future. So I don't think it's a very good idea for you to think about future too much, because it is not happening right now, right? And you even never realized, or you even don't realize it will happen, it will ever happen, right? So that is why paying too much attention to think about your future is not a very good idea. It's good that you should be well prepared, but thinking about something that is not happening right now is not too much. Okay, too much is not a good idea. I think that humans are the only ones that think about future, right? Yeah, animals can be the ones that think about future, a very close future, because they have to be attentive, right? They have to be attentive. Why can they be attentive? Because they are worried about their very near future, right? Something might happen in the future, so that is why they have to be prepared, so that their lives cannot be threatened, right? Whether they die or they can live is a big issue for them, right? That's the only issue they have, right? So that is why. And where was I? Yeah, I was talking about the Japanese guy, right? Speaking English to practice his English on his channel. And today is his 91st day. I don't know how to say this. 91st. Is it okay? Or 19th day. Meaning he has been doing this a little less than 100 days, about 3 months. I think he's been his good job. And yeah, and since I'm Japanese and he's Japanese, we have a lot in common when it comes to language learning, speaking English, like the one I'm doing now. And I've been struggling picking up the right English expressions and right sentences, or I have difficulty thinking about how to construct English sentences in the first place, because we have to use our native tongue in any way when we use our foreign language, right? Then we tend to do something similar when we speak English. Like when you speak your foreign language, you have this image that you want to speak, you want to express in your head. And most of the time, when you are used to speaking English, you don't have to use your mother tongue when you think about what you express in your target language. But sometimes you have to make your own sentence, right? Like I said in yesterday's video, when you improve your foreign language, your target language, you don't have to use your original sentence, and you can just borrow those set phrases that are there already, natural ones, okay, natural sounding set phrases or chunks, and you can borrow them and you can put them in a sentence. You can take out this chunk, but instead you put this chunk into this sentence, and you can make your original sentence, but still it sounds very natural because you can just borrow the natural sounding chunk, right? So that's how I try to do when speaking English. I always think about the set phrases, but sometimes I try to make my own sentences myself, and then and the influence my Japanese has comes into this process, and that sentence I make, the original sentence I make, can be sounding like Japanese, and it can only be understood by Japanese because that's how we speak Japanese. But it cannot be understood by people from other countries because they have different origin of the language when it comes to their mother tongue, right? English and our mother tongue Japanese are so different. It's the furthest language. It's not the closest. It's totally opposite from the closest. Like English and German, English and Spanish, they have a lot in common, right? But when it comes to English and Japanese, we don't have that kind of similarity when it comes to linguistic something. Okay, I don't know how to say this, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then the more opportunities you have to use those chunks, and the more you get used to using them, right? So everything starts with practice, and everything can be solved by practice. Practice makes perfect, and someone says, I heard this yesterday, but practice makes, I forgot. Practice makes, someone said long before that practice makes permanent, means if you practice the wrong way, it persists, right? And you get used to it. So that person wanted to say that you have to be very careful when you practice. You should practice the right way because it will be ingrained inside you, inside your brain, and which is very difficult for you to fix later on, right? But yesterday someone said very interesting thing, which has something to do with this proverb or saying, practice makes perfect. Practice makes solidity or something like that. It sounds very good, positive, and I loved it. So I checked it again so that I can explain it in my future videos though. Okay, and then when I hear Japanese people speaking English, I understand how they are feeling. I feel like I understand how they are feeling because and I feel like I understand the struggle they might be having, because I've been there, I've done that. But luckily, ever since I started this practice, I feel it's getting better. But I get stuck every time I compare myself to someone else whose English is much, much better than mine. Like I felt when I heard this person, this very famous singer called Miyavi, that instead of B but V, okay, Miyavi. His name is spelled M-I-M-I-Y-A-V-I. I can't do this. I mean, explaining the spelling in your head without looking at the name itself or spelling itself. I can't do this. I'm not used to it. I wonder how people can do such a thing. People do such a thing. I can't do this. I don't know why. Because I haven't done this as many times I should have, right? That's simple. I'm not used to it because I didn't do this much enough, many times enough. So that is why. Anyway, Miyavi's English was amazing. He's now like a native English speaker. That's because his wife is an English-speaking person from Hawaii. She used to be a singer in Japan, and he has 3 kids, and he communicates with all of them when he is with them in English, and it helps his English even much better, right? And he never stops improving. He's a very positive, inspirational person, and but when he started English, I already studied English, and I already had this 10-year experience when it comes to studying English, but I didn't use my English when it comes to my spoken English. I always studied with textbooks, and I always studied for tests, because tests are the only things that can evaluate my own English. That's what I thought, okay? And every time I thought that, okay, let me study English. I'm gonna study English, and then what was I studying English for? For tests, okay? For those tests. And if I get the higher score, higher grade, if I pass the higher grade and higher score, then I assume that my English is okay. But when it comes to communication or conversational English, you have to speak, right? You have to speak. But that's something that I seldom did. I go to English-speaking places like English speaking, I don't know, English class, English circles, or something like that. I used to take part in those places from time to time, but I was not used to speaking English. And I always wondered what I should do to improve my spoken English. So that is why I now firmly believe that this is the only way. I mean, speaking to yourself, speaking to people, speaking, having the opportunity to speak up use your English every day. It's the only way. And even though you are now having trouble expressing yourself, taking out the right word, coming up with the right word, and your foreign language sounds like your mother tongue in many ways, but don't worry. Everybody has been there. Everybody has gone through such phase, and if you continue to do it, you'll get out of your problem eventually, and you'll get used to it. So practice your speaking as often as you can, and also listen to a lot of good English. And if you are close to an advanced, or if your English improves, and then just listening to good English can be your input. Okay, you can learn many useful expressions that you can use in your speech or in your writing, in your output, naturally, very easily. So that is why I try to listen to easy materials. I mean, when it comes to acquiring your foreign language, it's very important to listen to something which is pretty easy for you, like something that you can understand more than 95%. Okay, you tend to find it too easy for you, right? Yeah, when it comes to improving your listening skills, that's true. You have to try something that is slightly more difficult. Okay, more difficult, right? But not too difficult. But even when it comes to picking up the right material for improving your listening skills, right? But when it comes to inputting, you should use the very easy material for you. In this way, you're like a native kid, understanding what adults around him or her, they can understand what other adults around them are talking them, right? So in that way, they can pick up the right ways of saying things. So they never try to understand something way difficult than things that they can understand, right? So that is why, and this is called comprehensible input, right? Comprehensible input is the key to your language success. So don't try to have this wrong idea of picking up something which are some things that are way difficult for your level. Choosing the right material for your level is the key. Okay, where was I actually? Yeah, when I hear some Japanese people speaking English, their English tends to rub off on me. I can easily pick up their accent, that way of saying things. So I used to keep myself from listening English spoken by other Japanese. But now I think it's okay because English expressions that I use are becoming more solid, and even if I listen to other Japanese people speaking English, and I might pick up, or I don't know how to say this, I'm about to pick up their way of speaking, but it doesn't affect much now. It doesn't affect me much. So that is why I'm I'm now quite enjoying listening to other Japanese people speaking English, but the person I'm listening to, his or her English is way higher, way better than mine. It can be discouraging, yeah, after all. Like something that happened to me yesterday, yeah, the day before yesterday, when I heard Miyavi speaking English, since his English was amazing, so it discouraged me, yeah, because I felt like I was dumb. Okay, I felt like dumb, and I felt like I was stupid, silly, because I have been studying English for such a long time. But and he started studying English even though much later than I did, but he's now much better, right? That's because he has been going through lots of difficult times himself, and he never gave up. So that is why. And I was talking about this in yesterday's video. It was a pretty long video, like I kept talking for longer than 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it's a very long video, and I strongly believe that nobody wants to watch such a long video. It's unless it's very inspirational for them, right? Everybody is busy, right? Everybody is busy, so they can't spend time on something which is not useful, right, for them. And I'm not making my videos like this to entertain people, to enjoy people. So I don't think they should watch my videos, because I'm not really sure if they can learn something important by watching my videos. Yet it differs it varies depending on the person who watches my videos. If they want to learn something from my videos, yeah, they could, I guess. I really hope so, though. Okay, anyway. The time now is 8:30. I haven't eaten anything. I just drank some coffee. I just had some coffee, iced coffee, first thing in the morning, which is not very good because drinking straight coffee, I mean, without any sugar or cream, first thing in the morning in your with your empty stomach is not very good, because it's too strong. It can make you irritated, okay, because it has caffeine, right? So that's what I learned before. But I tend to do this because all I think about first thing in the morning is to make coffee, to wake myself up. And I didn't have enough sleep last night. I went to sleep like midnight, but I felt a bit sick somehow. And I ate some raw fish, which is called sashimi, and it's very popular here in Japan. And since my daughter and I went shopping yesterday, and every time we went there, go shopping together, we make it a rule to buy something very fresh to eat for dinner on that day. And yesterday was that day. Okay, and my daughter loves to eat raw fish very much. That's her favorite food. And that's not my favorite food. Okay, but every week we go shopping once every week, because I get food from somewhere else. They deliver foods like vegetables and meat from somewhere trustworthy. twice a month. So I don't need to go shopping very often. And I really enjoy the shopping time. I mean, when we go shopping, because it only happens once a week. It's like I don't know. It's like a leisure. It's like a, I don't know, like going Disneyland. I've never been there though. Okay, I've never been there. I'm not interested in Disneyland, Disney Sea or something like that. Okay, but it's like people are going to Disneyland. It's fun, right? Like them, I feel like shopping is fun because it only happens once in a while. It's refreshing to us. Okay, and I went there with my daughter and we decided to buy some raw fish because that's her favorite food. And I thought that why not have some raw fish together? Not together because we don't eat together. I always eat at this table alone, and my daughter eats at her table in her room, which is on the third floor, and my room or my space is a living room. Our living room. I always stay in our living room, and I eat meals at my table, and so we never eat together. We eat together only we go out or we eat out. Okay. So, and I ate some raw fish because that was our dinner last night. But when we fell asleep last night, I felt sick. I began to feel sick, and I was just worried if I had some nasty thing inside the raw fish. I mean, I'm not sure what it is called in English, but it's like worm. Worm, is it my pronunciation okay? Am I being understood by pronunciating this word? One of my dogs named James is always threatening me. Okay, by making that noise. Shh, not yet, not yet. He keeps making this noise over and over again because he never stops. It's annoying, it's threatening. No way. Come, James, come. Okay, I think it's time for me to go out to walk them now. So I should go now because they can't wait any longer. But I'm still hungry because I only had some coffee first thing in the morning. So what should I do? Because before you do exercise, you have to you shouldn't be empty. You shouldn't be empty. Your stomach shouldn't be empty, right? You have some protein. You should have some protein, right? Okay, I don't know what to do, but I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, thank you for watching if you are there. I'm not checking my face while speaking, so I really hope that my corner of my mouth didn't drop. Okay, I'm going to talk about this some other time. Okay, I really hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.